Hello everyone, I'm at Sundance and I have my first review for you, and this one is a really good one. This one is from Kelly O'Sullivan and Alex Thompson. It's called Ghostlight, and I'll just say off the bat that I did not have this film on my radar. I had no plans to review this film, but I liked it so much that I decided to make a review about it and talk about it. So you may recognize Kelly O'Sullivan. She was the actress and writer of this charming little indie film from a few years ago called St. Francis that was directed by Alex Thompson. It's this little indie about an underachiever with an unplanned pregnancy who kind of forms this bond with a girl that she's nannying for. Here she co-directs Ghostlight. She steps behind the camera, and the film is about a construction worker who's currently experiencing grief from a recent tragedy and unexpectedly finds himself taken under the wing of a local community theater. So the story is all about grief, but don't let that prevent you from seeing this film, because while there is an underlying amount of sadness, the film counteracts that heaviness with a lot of warmth and personality. The main character named Dan lives with his wife Sharon and his daughter Daisy, who are all currently still processing a recent tragedy in their lives, which is causing also a rift between the daughter and is causing her to act out. So while watching the film, actually, the family felt very authentic and so perfectly cast, which I guess isn't surprising since I later learned that Dan, played by Keith Kupfer, I think is his name, is actually acting alongside his real wife and real daughter. So it's a real family playing a family. And honestly, everyone was fantastic, but I have to say Catherine Kupfer, who plays the daughter, is an absolute star. She has this kind of natural confidence. She's so bold, and it may be jarring for some at first because she comes right out of the gate going, but I thought she just brought so much tenacity and spunk to her character. Thought she was great. A lot of the film's energy, I think, really radiates from her. But again, everyone is great in Ghostlight, including Dolly De Leon, who wonderfully plays a key supporting role as an actress who may or may not be too old to be playing Juliet in a production of Romeo and Juliet, and is someone who also recognizes the main character Dan, who's on the verge of boiling over. Slowly, she coaxes Dan in partaking in a local production of Romeo and Juliet. In her words, she tells him that it looks like you can be someone else for a while. As Dan continues going to the rehearsals, the play starts to show striking similarities with Dan's own life. And I will say, Dan's off encounter with getting involved with this particular specific production does feel a little bit on the nose, or maybe a little too convenient. I think you'll know what I'm talking about once you see it, but it's kind of something you kind of have to go with or chop it up to being kind of destiny or divine intervention. Now, I'm not going to tell you any more about the story because I want you to experience it firsthand. All I can say is I can't describe how emotional this movie was for me. And it wasn't in one swift scene either. The entire movie had me under this emotional ether. I felt knots in my stomach and I felt my heart clenching in every scene. Many times I did break, but most of the movie I spent like the main character, trying to bottle it up so I didn't annoy the lady next to me. Now, I know some people could probably describe the film as a little schmaltzy or maybe a little too emotional. I don't know. Ghostlight undoubtedly kind of wears its heart on its sleeve, but I found the movie so sincere and I never found any of the emotion cloying at all. It's just so delicately done. Similar to the film that played at TIFF last year, Sing Sing, Ghostlight's story is all about the therapeutic power that can really come from self-expression and performance art. Dan describes himself as old school, someone who struggles with being able to express himself. His solution is just to run away as fast as possible. And not to get personal, but like the main character, I took an acting class when I was younger that really changed my life. I never realized, just how many people walk around with personal trauma and pent up emotion and never address it. They sweep it under the rug, conceal, don't feel. And I know because I was one of those people. The acting class was the first time that I actually ever looked inward, looked at myself, dug inside myself and said, what makes you tick? What is going on in there? And through performing, I learned how you can find qualities within yourself by exploring the qualities of other people or the characters that you're playing. And watching Dan kind of experience this, watching his barriers slowly break down, watching him step in the shoes of other people and characters to understand their experience, and watching strained relationships in his life rebuild. It was so personal and beautiful to me. Currently, it's my favorite film that I've seen at Sundance so far. I'd be surprised to see another film that will move me more. And I just loved it. I just love the movie. It's one of those passion picks. Every movie is personal, and every movie can change based on the person watching it, which is why sometimes film critique is not that fun, because it's supposed to be a personal experience. And to me, this movie completely spoke to me. So I feel like the movie, if I was like a professor grading a paper, I'd be like, it's an 8 out of 10. But honestly, it feels so wrong to give a movie an 8 when it moved me so much. So I'm going to give this movie a solid 9 out of 10. And I'm really excited to see if you guys like it or if it's something for you. I think if you're ever in high school theater, or you like Shakespeare, I think this movie is something you're going to really like as well. All right, I have another review coming for you soon. If you have any requests, by the way, comment below and I'll try to watch it here at Sundance. Subscribe if you want to see more Sundance reviews and Oscar-related content. Thanks always for watching, and until next time, I'll see you at the Oscars and I'll see you at Sundance.